how to spot and recruit exceptional talent. It's a challenge most companies face, but a new book shows some insights as to how your company can find that rare, talented worker. It's based on a book called The Rare Find, Spotting Exceptional Talent Before Everybody Else by George Anders. And to tell us about the book, I'm joined, as we are this time every Thursday morning, by Ron Immink, co-founder of BookBuzz. Morning, Ron.
Good morning.
Spotting exceptional talent. Do you need to be Simon Cowell to find that type of person out there?
Ooh, that's a very good question. Yes and no. Is the answer to that? It's a very interesting book around the talent war, because if you ask CEOs, are they winning the talent war? 80% would say that they are not. And what this book does is it examines sort of best practice in spotting talent in organizations such as Special Forces, which is always a good read, the FBI, sports, VCs, and it also talks about Facebook and how they recruit their talent. And basically the message is that a resume doesn't tell you the whole story of an individual. And what they suggest as one of the key things you should do is actually read the resume upside down. Which you
Why?
You start with the hobbies, and you start with the things that people like. And if you look particularly at the Special Forces, it's really everything their whole recruitment is based on observation. Because a resume doesn't tell you anything about an individual. So, Special Forces do all kinds of very weird things. So they tell about the exercise where they have to bring a broken down truck 50 miles across a desert, carrying it on their shoulders. And beside those poor individuals that have to carry the truck, there's somebody just watching what goes on. And it watches people that are slacking, that are watching the people that are cheating, and are looking for the natural leaders, and everything is based on the observation, and the focus is entirely on character.
What about companies that we know about, like Facebook? It must get 1,000 CVs every hour looking for jobs.
So they no longer, when they're looking for talent, they're no longer looking at CVs. What they have done is they have developed puzzles, and they put those puzzles online. There's a story when Facebook started to grow way beyond their expectations. They had a real problem around who to recruit and what type of talent, and they were competing with the Googles, etc. So what they started to do is put puzzles online, and then ask people to submit the solutions to those puzzles. The people who were good at solving those puzzles got an invitation to come over to Facebook, and a lot of them were recruited on the spot. Nothing to do with resumes. Those were kids that were in basements, in their bedroom, doing weird stuff with coding, and that's how they found them. So they have a puzzle master in Facebook, and that's the way they recruit.
Venture capital companies, the people that invest in small startup companies, they also have an interesting way of recruiting people.
Same, and when you talk to VCs, is what do they back? They back people, so they start delving into the family background. They start looking at the character. They start looking at passion, and it nearly goes all the back to social capital. The book we talked about, Solace, no longer business as usual, and the focus on culture. It's all about cultural fit.
So for small companies out there, or even large companies looking at new ways to recruit, what's I suppose the main message of the book is, look, the traditional way, the human resources department got people is gone.
The same way about reading books. Don't believe everything you read, and focus on the character. It's the key success factor in spotting talent.
Is this a good book? Is it worthwhile picking up out there if you're in a small firm?
Absolutely, and it makes a reference to the long tail, which is if you in the pool of talent, there's a long sort of lag at the back. As a small company, you can't compete. Well, you can focus on the resume and you get the top 10, but in the long tail at the end, there is a lot of talents to be spotted. And as an SME, it is easier to look for the cultural fit.
Okay, Ron Immink, co-founder and chief executive of BookBuzz, thank you very much for joining us this morning. That book, The Rare Find, Spotting Exceptional Talent Before Anybody Else by George Anders, will stick the title on